Hey, this is Dirk and Ben, and we are Whiskey Rickhouse, and we are here today to make one of Ben's famous hot buttered rums.
That's right. Today we're going to do the hot buttered rums, and what you can see on the screen is the ingredients that it's going to take. We have 1 stick of butter, or 1/2 cup of butter, 1 cup of brown sugar, 1/2 teaspoon of maple extract, and then our spices are 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon nutmeg, and 1/4 teaspoon of allspice. So to start with, we're going to add in the butter. It needs to be room temperature so it creams nicely with the brown sugar. Brown sugar, when you measure it in, you normally do a light pack on it so it compresses in there to get your 1 cup measuring. I may have done a little too much on here for the compression. There we go. And so now we'll go ahead and add in the other ingredients. So we have the cinnamon, the allspice, the nutmeg, and an optional ingredient that gives a little extra flavor to it is this maple extract. So now this is all in the mixer. We're going to put this down, and if you don't have a stand mixer, you can also use a hand mixer. We're going to give that a lock, and we're going to turn this up for about 4 or 5 minutes and let this cream nicely. Every once in a while during the mixing process, you may need to lift the beaters up and scrape down the sides of your bowl. Get it all back in there so it mixes nicely.
What sort of consistency are you looking for, Ben?
Well, creamy consistency, where it says cream, butter, and sugar, but kind of soft, fluffy, light consistency. We're actually pretty close to where it is right now. When you put this in, you don't have brown sugar and butter and the spices all separate. It's all together in a nice light, this light brown looking mixture. And with that, we've made our hot buttered rum mixture. So again, we have that light, airy consistency in here, light brown. You can see the peaks are somewhat holding on the sides of the bowl to go along with it, and everything's nice and mixed together. If your butter's a little cold, this could be 5 or 10 minutes, or if it's room temperature, maybe 3 or 4 minutes. Alright, we've made our mixture now, so as you can see in the bowl, we have our hot buttered rum mixture. So what we want to do is take about 1 tablespoon of the mixture. It can be rounded, approximate on here, we're not doing exact science. Normally it'd be stored in the fridge, so it might be a little more difficult to dig out, so just something close to this. Place that in the bottom of each of the cups. Next we're going to add in our rum. My choice when doing a rum is something a little bit stronger. You can use any rum you want, but I try to stay away from the spiced rums just because they're a little bit sweeter, and to be honest, we're putting a lot of sugar into this glass to start with. So I'm going to use 1.5 ounces of rum.
Which one did you choose?
Today we're using the Bacardi Ron Años, 8 years aged.
Okay.
So at this point, I'll normally come through and just get us a little bit of a mix. This helps break up the butter and sugar spice mixture, especially if it's a little bit cooler. The rum's usually room temperature, helps break it down. And then we want to come back in with our boiling water, microwave, stove top, whatever works best for you. And we're going to add approximately 8 ounces to each cup. And when we stop here, we want to leave a little bit of space because we need somewhere for this ice cream to sit when we're ready to add that in. So once we get here, we want to mix this together fairly vigorously. Make sure all of that gets dissolved. If you are working with, again, a colder mixture, fill your cup up halfway with water first, because it lets you mix a little easier without spilling, and then you can come back through and fill it up the rest of the way. And now what's really a fan favorite here is when we do the ice cream. I'm just going to get the scoop a little warm in this water here to make it easier to get the ice cream out.
Now this is going to add that nice creamy texture to the drink and that little bolt of vanilla taste as well.
All right, and we had nutmeg in our mixture, but this is a little fun additive. Nutmeg, I actually have the nutmeg nut here. I'm just going to give a little bit of a grating over the top for a little bit of extra flavor as you go eat through this. It also gives a nice little presentation with it on here. One thing to keep in mind when you're working with all these spices, please make sure they're fresh. I know a lot of times things like the allspice and cinnamon sit in your pantry from one season to the next, and they taste like cardboard and lose their flavor. The biggest add I can give to this is start with fresh spices, and it makes a world of difference. So thank you for joining us today. Cheers.